Well guys, this is it. As you can see, we're saying goodbye to the yellow truck, our 1984 Dodge D150 two-wheel drive standard cab short bed stick shift truck. This was just a project that we kind of got on a whim and never actually did anything with. Definitely a cool little truck, but it's just, I didn't fall in love with it like I did with the second gen. The second gen definitely doesn't look near as cool as this thing, but I just couldn't get into it. So it was time to say goodbye to this project. As you know, here on the property, we have a lot of Dodges as it is, but this one, it was just time to go. Now, that being said, the last time this truck was strapped on this trailer, yeah, Caitlin didn't like it too much. So that's when Caitlin crapped out on her built 68 RFE transmission, was towing this thing back when we bought it. So today we are selling the yellow truck. Hopefully Caitlin doesn't get upset with that. And as you can see, her stock wheels and tires, stock tail lamps, stuff like that are all back on for reasons that will be disclosed at a later date. But this is more than likely the last tow Caitlin will ever see here on the channel. And this is the last time you will see this yellow truck. Definitely a cool little truck. The guy is buying it for like a grandson, project for him and his grandson. And I really hope that they make this thing into what it should be. If I was proficient at like body work and doing, some rust repair like this would have been a great candidate to fix up. But I just couldn't get into this thing. But it is definitely cool. Definitely looks killer. But like I said, we got this thing and I dove right in, head over heels for it, and just couldn't get into the D150. So say goodbye to the D150. It should be the last time you see it on the channel, and hopefully Caitlin makes it back one piece. Luckily, we don't have to go near as far. We only have to go about 10 minutes down the road because I'm dropping it off to the guy because I'm just a nice guy like that. So anyway, when you pay asking price for something, you can expect to have a little bit better service, so just keep that in mind. So anyway guys, like I said, say goodbye to the yellow truck. All right, so we're back. Everything went well. Caitlin performed the way she should. The yellow truck is now gone. We now have a little bit of a void in our truck lives. The guy who bought it, I feel like it is going to a good home. He's really excited to kind of get the truck back to where it should be body wise, and maybe go through the engine, all that. Really, he's some kind of a plane or something interrupted me. Sounds awful weird. Well, I don't know what that is, but interesting. All right, so no idea what the flyover was all about. Something very different. Anyhow, I feel like the guy, it's going to a good home. It's going to, somebody who's going to do what I wanted to do with it and just kind of bring it back to where it was. But like I said, just kind of lost interest in that thing. Really cool truck, standard cab, short bed. Not something you see very often in a Dodge truck. So I really hope I see that out at a car show or something in a year or two, and that it's where it should be. But we had lost interest, and speaking of losing interest, I've completely lost interest in Caitlin. Caitlin, for those of you who don't know, is my first ever diesel truck, my first ever brand new vehicle. And well, throughout the 8 years of ownership, we've kind of fallen apart, literally and figuratively. So a little backstory: the name of the truck is Caitlin. That is a little bit of a spin on the whole Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner thing, because this truck is a 68 RFE 6-speed, and then we put a 48 RE in it, and then we put it back to a 68 RFE truck. So it has had its fair share of trans issues. That's where the name and the joke come from. So Caitlin started off, like I said, my first ever diesel truck. We got her. I was planning on keeping this truck stock, and then the whole legal thing happened with H&S Performance, the creators of the Mini-Max. So I made sure I grabbed myself a tuner while I still could, because that was like the first round of, you're not going to be able to do this stuff anymore. So like a lot of people, I went out, got me an exhaust, and got me a tuner. Well, you got the tuner sitting there, you're going to throw it on. So we threw it on. We put our new straight pipe exhaust on and loved the power. The truck ran great. not that it doesn't run bad now. You get used to it being back in the factory form, but it sounded awesome. It ran great. I loved it. Got some custom tuning for it, and then we started to upgrade the truck, and the truck got a S467 turbo, a second gen swap, all that. It was well and good. Went to Cecil County Dragway, promptly broke the truck. I fully knew what I was getting into, and had the trans built to the nines. Every part you could get on this truck, on a 68 RFE, we had. Now, that being said, this truck is a 12. 68 RFE came out late 07. So really, we were just hitting that 5-year window of when the original 68 RFE trucks were getting out of warranty. So people really weren't breaking these a whole lot. So the technology to build a 68 wasn't where it is today. Also, some of the knowledge that guys have gotten with the 68 just wasn't what it is currently. So that being said, we had the trans built, went back to Cecil County Dragway, and promptly broke it. So destroyed the trans once again, the low reverse sprag, which is a known issue, and the trans guy said, look, there's nothing else we can do. You're just going to have to be easier on it, which with drag racing really isn't. Yeah, it's not going to happen. So that's when we kind of took a step back, and yeah, then we 48 swapped the truck. So we put a 48 RE in it, and we went through a whole host of issues with that. This is all before the whole YouTube thing. So I broke an intermediate shaft in it, which it was an unknown. I had a built transmission that I had gotten from a friend of mine. He put a manual in his truck and so on and so forth, and it was like, this trans was in his truck before he ever owned it. It was supposed to be built, had a billet intermediate shaft. Don't know the make, but it didn't last. Broke multiple input shafts, just went through the whole rigmarole. But even though I've kind of fallen out of love with Caitlin, fallen out of love with this 2012, the 2012 is the reason that we have the drag truck, the reason that we have ventured down the path we have. So I do have this truck to thank. So we built this truck, you know, valve springs, push rods, head studs, the big turbo, put big injectors in it. And, you know, after I broke the trans, finally I was kind of down to the point of, I have this nice Laramie truck and I can't drive it because it's always broken. So let's get a dedicated vehicle for this, which has gotten completely out of control. And we put the 68 back in Caitlin, took all the performance parts off of it, put them on the drag truck, so on and so forth. So the truck is now back to factory form. The only things on it, it has a lift pump and it still has the head studs. So, yeah, it's time to say goodbye to this truck. Actually wasn't planning on doing this today, but I just got a call, and our new truck is here. Our new truck is ready. So put down in the comments what you think we're going to pick up. But, yeah, I'm excited for the new truck. The 4th gen Cummins era of daily driver is gone. This truck and I have been through so many things that I'm glad for the experience. Not really, just me and this truck kind of falling out of favor. I don't know how to really explain it, but if it wasn't for this, we wouldn't have that. We wouldn't be where we are today. So I am grateful to this truck. It doesn't owe me anything in that regard, but it has been a probably self-induced set of trials and tribulations with this truck. There are a few things that I don't like about it. I was originally thinking about doing a video of like the 5 things I don't like about my 4th gen Cummins. Really, the only big things that really I don't like about it are the fact that it has a 68 RFE. Can't stand it. The radio in this truck, if you're not familiar, is pretty much the same as what you would get in an 06 truck, but it's touchscreen. It just doesn't fit the newness of what this truck was when I got it. That being said, the next year 13, which I got a 12 because I didn't want to have to deal with DEF fluid, DEF fluid, which, you know, looking back, probably was something that I didn't need to be worried about. And the third thing that I don't like about the truck is this big dent inside. Once again, self-induced issue. That was all my fault. So it's time to say goodbye to Caitlin. We're off to newer and better things. And yeah, I can't say this is a sad day, but it certainly makes you remember the journey that this truck has been on. You guys weren't there with me for most of it, but yeah, it's time to say goodbye to my first ever new truck and my first ever diesel truck. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you're excited for what's to come, because I know I am. But yeah, so put your guesses down below what you think we're going to pick up. I'm super stoked about it. I'm not going to say anything more than that. And like I said, comment down below. So I hope you enjoyed. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Catch you guys on the next one. Get out in your garage, get the wrenching on your truck.